So I tossed a coin and I got B-Tech. So I was like, fine, let's go with B-Tech. The doctors were stressed. They were like, oh my God, we are not able to focus on patients that might need medical attention because of the cases of COVID that are coming in.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere trying to establish this virtual connection between the doctors and patients so that even when the patient is not able to come to the hospital, they still are given medical attention that they would need through a virtual platform with the help of Eka Care. A doctor could be seeing, I don't know, like 5,000 to 10,000 patients on a daily
On a
basis.
daily basis.
So
Yeah.
having a unique identifier like that and having reports so well organized because of the system, I think this was a very interesting experience for us using APIs.
So we have placed the guardrails which handles if any kind of vulgarity is added to the question, or not even a vulgarity. Let's say I have identifier. I have added my patient identifier. Say hi, name is my Akash. I live here so and so, and there are a lot more identifier. So the response that you will get in the from the LLM will be just only a generalized response. All the identifiers will be removed. It will be de-identified. So we have a very good model from the X-ray, that is for the bone fracture detection. Any radiological report from the, you can say, that comes from the maybe X-ray or maybe from the CT scan, MRI or the PET scan, we can implement this model very easily, and we can say deploy easily a fast prototyping kind of thing. You have to use the technology, and this is a very right use of technology to, you can say, help doctors reduce their workload and with higher accuracy.
So when we got this opportunity, we were actually not expecting to be selected. I was in the gym when I got the call and I ran outside. And I think somewhere, I think I really liked the fact that he pointed out that you have to be very precise when it comes to healthcare. And I think handling the data with utmost privacy, ensuring that personal details of the patient is not revealed and everything. So having a robust model that takes care of that is, I think, one of the most important things in healthcare.
What got you interested in this field?
So we were actually never in data science or engineering oriented in the first place.
Yeah.
We were actually NEET students. So we actually had given the paper and we were ready to go to a private medical college. And then sort of this decision came whether we would, since we had mathematics also in 11th and 12th. So we were like, okay, engineering is like a preferred stream in India right now. So we were like, okay, let's go for data science. It's an upcoming field,
Yeah.
etc., etc. And then I was a little confused, so I tossed a coin and I got B-Tech. So I was like, fine, let's go with B-Tech. So, but then I was like, I
You
am
guys
very
got to
much.
know each other in college, or like you guys have known each other from before?
Oh,
So
interesting
this is
story.
interesting, yeah, because we
Yeah.
were in the same school but different branches in 11th and 12th. So we've had the exact same story of taking PCMB, giving NEET,
Taking
and
a
then
gap.
we,
Yeah.
yes,
And then when
so
we met in college, we were very surprised that, oh, we have the same
surprised, yeah,
story. So we just immediately bonded over that and we've been friends since then.
yeah,
Okay. And you guys plan to like apply for same jobs in the future and everything?
definitely. If that happens, I would
I
pray
know.
every day. That would be really lovely, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What we can maybe do is we can start the discussion. I think
Sure, sure,
and Akash can join probably in a bit. Uh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Probably we'll start off by, just discussing the problem statement that you
Yeah,
guys are working on as part of Ekathon. Uh,
Hmm.
yes.
Maybe just brief through about the problem, solution, and your impact, so that when it goes live, everyone is kind of aware of what you guys are presenting.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh, so I think starting off with the problem statement,
Mhm.
the gap that we have identified is first of all, when it comes to hospitals in remote areas or emergency cases of doctors, I think there has been this case, especially during COVID, this case of overcrowding, where a lot of patients were running through hospitals. The doctors were stressed. They were like, oh my God, we are not able to focus on patients that might need medical attention because of the cases of COVID that are coming in.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere trying to establish this virtual connection between the doctors and patients so that even when the patient is not able to come to the hospital, they still are given medical attention that they would need through a virtual platform with the help of Eka Care. So I think our goal with this really was to establish that two-way connection where the
Yeah.
patient can also convey their problems in a way that it is easier for them to explain. So, for example, using the Whisper model to record languages even in their colloquial form, example
Yeah.
Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, etc. And even for the doctor, it would be very convenient to understand because we had linked the voice prescription using the SNOMED CT codes.
Common city codes.
So even if it would be a very unique case, probably an illness that the doctor has not come across, they'd be like, okay, I would probably need international consultation on this. So they could connect to a doctor virtually somewhere.
You guys are fairly young and early into the health tech journey. What
Yeah.
made you believe that, SNOMED CD, basically the mapping is extremely critical and, storing
Yes.
kind of structured health data format is very valuable because a lot of the other startups that, we come across, not a lot of them are generally following these
Hmm.
Exactly.
data
Exactly.
study methods. So what
Right.
you believe that this is something that's critical right on day one, and that's what you want to focus on as well.
Correct. Correct. So I think one thing about snowbed is the standardized. Like I remember how we used to in biology study scientific
Nomenclature.
names.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think the names in India and in any other country used to be the same. So it used to be very easy for people to discuss those names.
Mhm.
So I think somewhere the way SNOMED had standardized every single illness, and I think it was around 1.5 million records that had to be stored. So we had to come up with an innovative and a quick solution to retrieve those points. And I think the Neo4j graph database
Yeah.
was the best choice
Database.
that we had. Yes. So I think the standardization, the communication could be very, it could be easier amongst doctors internationally as well as here. And I think this entire movement of India going digital, because here everything has been on papers since the longest time I could think of, especially in small clinics. So I think a system like this could also help very small clinics to go digital.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think Akash is also here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can
yeah.
also probably do is quickly have a quick intro of all of you guys. From a team perspective, just maybe a couple of lines about each one of you and what value you add to the team, what you particularly worked on during this hack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure.
We can maybe start with Lavanya,
Yes.
go on to Anushka and then
Sure.
Akash.
Sure. So, hi, I'm Lavanya, and I am right now doing my final year of BTech in data science from NMIMS. So, I was mostly responsible for the backend development in this hackathon, and mostly work related to handling the APIs and ensuring that it was rendered correctly on the front end, and fixing those issues was my work. And I think I learned a lot in this process because there were also errors of missing JWT token and stuff that we also helped fixing. So Eka Care also ended up fixing the error just
Yeah,
with one day before that. So I think this is a very interesting, and I think I've also been working in backend for a really long time. So this was a very nourishing learning experience, I would say.
got it. Anushka, over to you.
Yeah. Hi. So I'm also in my fourth year of BTech data science, and I was working with like the inferencing of the models on the models that we had. We had to create inferences for it so that we could reduce the hallucinations. And based on so all the models that were there, we were working on like testing of the images and seeing if they are working, and on the presentation, the PPT part of it, and that part of the organizing. That's where I was working mostly. Yeah.
Akash, over to you.
Yeah, definitely. So, hi, this is Akash. Currently, I'm pursuing my MS in Health Informatics from Michigan Technological University, USA. Previous to this, I was working as a data scientist with Harman Connected Services, and I was into remote patient monitoring for last 3 years. I've been also an academician with 3 years of teaching experience at NMMS, and of course, these guys are my students. Uh, and I have taught them for I think so across 3 semesters. So my scope in this project was basically ideating all how to integrate the technology, both the back end and the front end. We have made a Streamlit app of it, and also I have been a core, you can say, a member to idealize the voice RX part that has been introduced. And whereas the Smart City came into the picture, how we can use Neo4j to store and retrieve the Snowmat City codes as soon and as quick as possible as compared to our traditional databases. And overall, the addition of this hackathon was done by myself.
Got we just spoke to, I think, Lavanya about uh, how and why this problem statement and solution. Just to go a bit deeper on that, when did you come across the idea of Ekathon, and how did you explore the Ekathon, or rather Eka Care's developer platform, to see whether Eka will fit into the larger picture of the solution you are building, and how exactly, and what are some of the places where Eka APIs came into help for that?
Alright, I'll come. I will just cover the first part, and then the API part will be covered by Lavan and Anushka.
Mhm.
So, why Ekathon and why Eka Care? I have been connecting with many folks across my LinkedIn from the health tech domain, where I found Vikalp. He was one of my connection on LinkedIn, and I was like looking into my feed. So that's where I saw the post of Ekathon is happening in India, and luckily I was in India for my summer vacation from US. So that's what I messaged Vikalp that hey, I will be also joining your Hackathon. He said yes, welcome, and that's where I started my journey with the Hackathon, where Eka Care fits into all this picture naturally. So if you are looking at India's background towards the digital healthcare, it's kindly quite weak, or right? Still it's very weak as compared to other countries. So making or enabling it to at a bigger picture where people will be adopting digital health, they will be looking at the smartphone for the appointments, they'll be looking at the smartphone for the histological or histopathological or radiological reports will be, I can say, enhancement. And that's where I think so Eka Care is making a very bold move to make all the ABDM APIs, and they are also helping our NHA to get more exposures towards how we can use the technology and add newer and newer, you can say, functionalities to the current healthcare ecosystem. So that's where I think Eka Care is doing their best from a holistic picture. What I'm seeing right now, I have been traveling to at least 4 to 5 countries since last 2 years, where I feel healthcare in India. I mean, there is a lot more scope to build up. A lot more platforms can be built on top of Eka Care using Eka Care APIs also. So how we implemented Eka Care's API will be, you can say, explored, and you can say depicted by Lavan and Anushka.
So coming on to the APIs, I think somewhere this procedure of where we are actually establishing a link between the patient record and the identity of the patient being the Aadhaar card itself.
Hmm.
So I
Mhm.
think since Aadhaar, the idea of Aadhaar was you have one unique identifier for every single person, and all the records related to that person will be linked to this one number. So I think
Mhm.
that is also the motive behind ACA, which
Yeah.
means one. So I
One.
think somewhere trying to establish this link where you call the APIs, you upload the records, and everything is going around that one Abha card that we displayed after the patient logs in. I think somewhere that is probably one of the most convenient ways for even the doctor to manage patients with duplicate names, because a doctor could be seeing, I don't know, like 5,000 to 10,000 patients on a daily
On a
basis.
daily basis.
So
Yeah.
having a unique identifier like that and having reports so well organized because of the system, I think this was a very interesting experience for us using APIs.
Got it. And just to like very quickly summarize, if you have to, in
Yeah,
a 3 second or rather 2 line pitch, if you have to explain your entire hack, how would that be?
I think a two-line pitch would be, I think it would be unifying the system of communicating between doctors and patients using a one-stop solution and a voice transcription tool.
Got it. Just to pick a bit more on that, I think when you guys were there, we also spoke a bit, and there were some questions also from the judges on the LLM side of it. Just to go a bit more on that, which LLM did you specifically use? How did you ensure that the accuracy of the extraction of chief complaints and the mapping with SNOMED CD code is accurate? What was going on behind at that point?
So let me
Hmm.
take this answer. So ensuring that LLM is giving a correct and accurate response is where the guardrails comes in place. So we have placed the guardrails which handles if any kind of vulgarity is added to the question, or not even a vulgarity. Let's say I have identifier, I have added my patient identifier. Say hi, name is my Akash. I live here so and so, and there are a lot more identifier. So the response that you will get in the from the LLM will be just only a generalized response. All the identifiers will be removed. It will be de-identified. That's where the HIPAA compliance come in place. So HIPAA has total 18 de-identifiers, and we have implemented all of those. And wherever there is a, you can say, Indic language that comes into place, we have taken care of that also. No matter it will be Marathi, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, whatever language you name from the Indic sources. So we have handled that too. Mapping this nomad city with whatever the voice or clinical chip complaint that we get is the most important aspect for us. So we have extracted the disease or the findings from the chief complaints, and we have deep dive into our new 4J to get the relevant nomad city codes, and based on that we have created a rack system that will ensure that our LLM is not hallucinated and it is not giving some vague responses. So based on the rack response, it is giving you a refined response. And this nomad city code was not picked up from some GitHub or some website. It was officially licensed from the, you can say, nomad city website, and these were the international versions of nomad city code. It was not particular for any country. So the purpose of using international city codes was like, no matter wherever you take this solution, the codes will be standard and doctors will be able to identify the same disease wherever you go. No matter if you are in India, if you are saying that disease is cold and somewhere it is saying some different terminology, with the help of Nomad City, it was very much standardized. So yes, one is the Indic language that we take care, another is the guardrails that we take care, and the four was the last but not the least thing is the HIPAA compliance, the de-identification part of the identifiers. The total 80 identifiers were been placed over there to de-identify the records.
Got it. Also, one of the things, probably a bit more curious, because when we were building our Scribe services, we also faced was in eliminating the background noise, right? Because often, whenever there is a scribe or a voice to text transcription service, figuring out the relevant medical data and extracting it away from all the background noise or all the peripheral discussions is also one of the bigger challenges to solve for. So how did you guys go around doing that in specifically in real time? Because I
So
think
we
result
have,
is pretty much very
yeah.
instant, right? As soon as like the voice recording ended, we could see the transcription as well as the chief complaints extracted from that.
So what we have done is first we are recording the noise, and after that we are using a Python framework that is called as noise reduce. So this noise reduce framework reduces some external noise that are into place, and it will like pass a, you can say, a refund response to the LLM for, you can say, getting a transcription of it. And Whisper model is well trained just for this audio transcription and speech to text purposes. So it will do this job better as compared to the you can say most latest vision models also, because vision model are generalized, are not specified, but
Mhm.
whereas Whisper come in place, Whisper is more specified towards the audio transcription and speech to text. So that's what we have gone forward with the noise reduce framework from the Python. It's a library that you will easily find anywhere across the online, and you can use it. Yeah.
Anyway, so going forward, right? I think we've seen a pretty good V1 of the hack that you guys built, rather a prototype. Have you guys thought a bit deeper on in terms of who would be your primary customers, or let's say if you guys were to, take this forward, who are the first set of people that you want to you reach out to use your product?
We are thinking like if we ever implemented this app as a product or a MVP, so of course doctors we will be looking at. So
Mhm.
because our intention to make this app was to reduce the workload of the doctors, those
Mhm.
who work
Correct.
in you
Any
can say
particular
trauma care.
specialty or any particular, let's say environment, let's say it's a small clinic, individual doctor, hospital, or, let's say a diabetologist or gynecologist, any particular uh, user profiling that you guys have in mind?
Right now, because there are two to three multiple tools in it, so I will be looking for someone who is very much related to the radiology. So we have a very good model from the X-ray, that is for the bone fracture detection. Any radiological report from the, we can say, that comes from the maybe X-ray or maybe from the CT scan, MRI or the PET scan. We can implement this model very easily, and we can say deploy easily a fast prototyping kind of thing. And look, going forward, of course, we can use it for the gynecology and lot of more things. But the first call would be for the trauma care, those who are into like this kind of things. So I'm feeling very bad to say this, or I am feeling very sorry to say this. Like you just, I think so. An hour or 2 hour back, we had an incident that Air India flight got crashed in Ahmedabad. So at this moment of time, the nearest hospital will be flooded with a lot of patients, and doctor will be in very traumatic condition. Like you have to handle so many patients at a given point of time. In this kind of
Virtual,
cases,
yeah,
you have to use the technology, and this is a very right use of technology to, you can say, help doctors reduce their workload and with higher accuracy, because doctor will be seeing two three people at a time. He might miss something because of fatigue, or maybe because he must be tired. So
Yeah.
machines won't get tired, and machines will definitely help them with a greater accuracy to the right diagnosis.
So I think you guys were there both the days, Thursday as well as Friday. It's almost been a week. Going back and like for example, Lavanya and Anushka traveled from Mumbai. Uh, what in the first place made you believe, that we need to take this plunge and travel from Mumbai to Bangalore to take part in the hackathon? And you guys are, of course, there for the first time. Uh,
yeah,
instead of just going around the city, just sitting
yeah,
in place coding for 48 hours.
yeah.
What made you guys believe and take this plunge? And just overall, how was the experience?
So first of all, I think since we come from an engineering college, it's very difficult to find companies inclined to the healthcare domain.
Exactly.
So
That's one of the
yes,
main things that really got our
yes.
attention.
Exactly. So when we got this opportunity, we were actually not expecting to be selected. I was in the gym when I got the call, and I ran outside. So when I was like, okay, okay, let's plan something. Let's convince our parents and really go for this
Yeah,
because
convincing parents and all. Yeah.
yes. So I think somewhere
Was that hard?
the
Like for either of you,
What?
what?
was convincing your parents hard?
Yeah,
Like
It
you
was,
for
didn't.
me,
yeah, a little bit,
for me
yes.
it was. It took me like a good 1 or 2 days, and then they finally were like, okay, seems like a
Yes,
good
it's a learning
opportunity. And
experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
And I
what
think,
was their reaction when you guys won?
oh,
they
they
were
were
very
so
happy.
surprised. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were very
maybe that
happy.
that was thing they expected, and they were very surprised and they were very proud.
Yeah. Yes.
Hopefully, this will open up easier
Yes,
access to
That
future
yes, yes, that is very true.
definitely,
Was the
Very
definitely.
true.
icebreaker for the families, like अब छोड़ सकते हैं इनको बात कहीं
तो हर क्वार्टर भी जाना चाहिए एक हैकाथॉन में.
Yes.
And this was the first hackathon that they
Yeah,
This is our first
participated.
hackathon,
This
yes.
was the Eka Care's first hackathon that they hosted, and this was the first hackathon that these guys won
Right.
with all the intelligence and effort.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
everything first, first, first.
yeah,
So, beyond convincing, your parents and everyone, like when you guys were planning to come here, what was your primary expectation from the hackathon? Was there any expectation you had? And then, once you came here for 2 days, how was the environment overall? Was there anything lacking in the tech support that was there, or anything missing, or anything that we could have improved? Or generally,
Hmm.
how was the experience engaging with the developers from Eka?
So I think one thing that I really, really liked was when we were trying to brainstorm our ideas. I think the checkpoints from mentors where you could really
exactly.
discuss and get feedback instantly. And it could also, I think, somewhere nudged us in the right direction because we were like,
Hmm.
okay, this is this even possible to implement realistically?
Yeah,
I think one thing about that, and second, I think I would personally would want to make a flowchart for you guys to put on your website for APIs because it was a little difficult for us to
yeah,
actually pinpoint which API we wanted to use.
yeah,
So I'll actually be working on a flowchart with Anushka, and we'll be sending it over to you
yeah,
guys to put it on the website,
Yeah.
and we'll make it purple theme definitely.
yeah. Yeah,
No,
we
no,
love
that,
purple.
And yes,
actually
so
one of the things we also realized. two things actually, which we have taken back as takeaways. One is that, I think we could have done a better job in introducing the mentors a bit early on.
Hmm.
Initially, we had this plan where, all the shortlisted teams, we had called for a Zoom call a week or so before the event to introduce them
Oh.
to the panel. But
Okay.
unfortunately, due to time availability, most of the teams could not join.
Correct, correct.
One thing we had in mind, let's say for next version or in general, is having a better introduction of the tech teams as well as the API ecosystem. Because what we realized was a few hours into the hackathon, a lot of teams were still pretty unsure that, which API can be used in which way and how to go about it. So those two things definitely rightly pointed out, and would be happy to
Yeah.
give the flow chart as well.
Because yeah, when we were started with the APIs, so you have one API with ADBM connect, that is Abha login and everything. There is one more API to verify and maintain the session. So we were like confused, like अभी ये कर लिया अभी फिर से ये भी करना है, दो दो पार्टी में डालना है. There is a little bit confusion कि बाद में मालूम पड़ा कि यार सेकंड वाले की जरूरत ही नहीं है, वो आईडी तो पहले ही मिल रहा है.
The
So
init verify one,
yeah,
yes.
so
Use
Yeah.
the token.
there was a time where we designed our entire for सब कुछ ready हम लोग कर चुके थे, and then वो API का problem solve हो गया. Then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
API implement करना, problem solve हो गया, अब API
We
implement
had to do
करना
so
पड़ेगा.
many changes because of
So
that.
that night we sat for around like 4 a.m. in the morning doing changes and everything in the code, and we were working upon it. But yeah, it was a pretty very good experience overall. And the benchmarks that Eka Care has set for my students is like they have to now try something that is either more bigger than Ekathon, or they will be not convinced with something lesser than Ekathon. And
Yeah.
the corporate parks
Yeah,
in Bengaluru are very fashioned and everything is very pretty. You can say a testament to their what they have made it.
that's
So of course these guys have set their bars really high enough for the hackathons, and definitely looking forward to like more hackathons from you guys also.
Yeah, yeah, I think we'll be planning this more often. I think it was a pretty good, like this was the first attempt and we got pretty good response. And I think the ideas and hacks were pretty nice. So that's something I think we'll build upon. But let's say for example, if we were to go again for another set of hackathon, we have a set of advice that Eka as a team has to.
Mhm.
But any particular advice or suggestion, let's say you feel that you have, which you would want to share with other startups who either participated in the past or would want to participate in the future, and not necessarily focus just on hackathon but building anything in the health tech ecosystem on top of AKI APIs. Any suggestion that comes to your mind or any advice in general?
So first advice will be from the hosting side of the hackathon. The APIs documentation that we have has a little currently the consistency of the words is not present over there. Somewhere it's a bearer token, somewhere it's a auth, somewhere is just the authorization. So
Mm.
I'm not sure people those who are from the proper tech background will be understanding it, but someone who is a less tech savvy person will might get confused by ये तीन तीन अलग नाम क्या है. Is it the same token that I have to use, or is it the three different tokens? So, and there are a lot of more like consistency has to be needed in the documentation of the Eka Care, APIs documentation especially. Another thing is whenever you're participating in a hackathon, see, there are two parts of it. A hackathon is a hackathon where people come and present a solution. But something that is in the healthcare needs to be very precise, very perfect, very accurate. It's not like you can make something and present it and say, oh wow, this is a solution. No, that's not the case. You have to study, deep dive into that particular topic. You have to, you can say, check whatever the solutions are present in the market. Is your solution solving a problem that is present in the market? Or is your solution better than what the market is already proposing? So that's where people, or you can say participants, should deep dive whenever they are participating, and they should understand whatever the problems are in the market. Because if you are making whatever it is in the market, then it won't make any sense. It won't make have an exclusivity. But proposing a new solution to whatever available, or making something new or innovative with the latest technology, technology is growing every day. We have every new post every day from big tech giants. We have launched this model, that model, indic model, foreign language model. But what is good for the health tech should be different. the training data of the model should be taken care, or maybe you can say taken into consideration while choosing it for the health tech, because not all the models are, you can say, should be directly used on the health tech solution. If you are creating embeddings of a particular, you can say, a prescription, so that particular embedding model should be trained on the health tech data and not on the normal some reviews data or some other data. So a lot of more things to be taken care of, but I will open this conversation to Lavanya and Anushka also if they want to add something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Akash covered most of the points. And I think somewhere, I think I really like the fact that he pointed out that you have to be very precise when it comes to healthcare. And I think handling the data with utmost privacy, ensuring that personal details of the patient is not revealed and everything. So having a robust model that takes care of that is, I think, one of the most important things in healthcare. And I think the way that you can communicate and collaborate with doctors outside to come up with a better solution to a disease, because, of course, when it comes to research, the more people you have, the better it is.
Exactly.
So, brainstorming and thinking about better solutions is always better when you can connect across with people outside. So, having a standardized system like SNOMED City, of course.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think somewhere, I think these are some of the most important points in healthcare.
Likewise, Lavanya mentioned communicating with doctors and making their life easy. There was a team from your side called as Choti Parchi. Did a
Yeah.
very good job in making that solution from the WhatsApp only. You can easily reply
Right.
to and make the, you can say, prescription. So
Hmm.
we personally like that solution very well. It was innovative, and it is solving a problem. It is actually solving
Yes.
a problem.
Even the
Yeah.
blood bank one
So
was really
In
nice.
the blood
Yeah.
bank one, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
my first mentor in my life gave me this slogan that if you want to do business ना तो समस्या का व्यापार करो. समस्या is a problem, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
if you make business out of it, then you will succeed.
Yeah. It's actually when you have these hackathons, then you realize that some of the hacks or some of the ideas are so glaring कि लगता है यार अभी तक करा कैसे नहीं किसी ने. Like
Hmm.
this
Right.
Exactly.
Apache thing, especially for someone who's been inside Eka Care ecosystem. Um, when someone from outside would look at, the first thought would be, yeah, this is such an obvious thing. How was it not developed till now? And I think that is like from our perspective, Eka's perspective, the biggest advantage of hackathon, that some of these obvious glaring problems or solutions which get missed often get picked up during these hackathons and very quickly executed. And like this idea, it's almost there live now. Doctors can start using it and starts adding value very real time. So that's definitely there. Uh, Coming back to Team Health Haven. So what are the next steps for you guys? Are you guys planning to take the prototype further? You guys still have access to our developer platform. The credentials would still be working. So how do you plan to refine it, take it forward, find a few customers? Any help you need there, or any plans you have?
So I think I would love to incorporate the appointments API that you guys have on the developer platform. I think a full-fledged system where from uploading the prescriptions and communicating it back to the patient and letting them know that they would need to come physically to the hospital. I think somewhere integrating that feature would be the next step to the prototype.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got
Also, I feel that we're gonna get rewarded with the AWS prize. So we are planning to make a like proper full-fledged system where doctors can come, they can test our system, they can give some feedback to our system, and also we can say we can put the authentication with the help of Eka Care's API, the ABDM Connect API that we have. We are looking forward to this time, taking this forward basically. It was not just about the hackathon, but now it has opened a door for us to explore more. So definitely yes.
And were you guys able to like establish connect with Anubhav and some of the other folks you met
Yeah,
who are
Yes,
yeah.
yes, everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
We
connected
have
with
take
them.
their connection, they whatever we have took their numbers and everything. So definitely yes.
nice? Hopefully, it'll all pan out and help you guys out later. I think in terms of the credit process, that process we've already started. So we'll be creating some sub accounts within our parent account, and those that access will be made available as we discussed around $5,000 worth of credit. So process we have started with AWS and should be available very soon. Right. I
We were
think,
just talking in the afternoon with Jay for this.
okay. So,
Yeah,
Jay,
we called him.
you the same thing, right? Like we had a discussion internally. So Karthik is the Spock from our side. Arvind is the Spock from AWS. So they'll create that sandbox environment where there are three child accounts, and each child account would basically give around $3,000
Yeah,
per child.
yeah, that's correct.
Right. So Jay is actually also here on the call. He's been silently listening and making notes so that he can come back and tell us later what we missed out on. And he's not even showing his face now. But anyway, so we'll probably wrap it up in another 10 minutes. I have one more question for you, and then probably two, three quick rapid fire questions. We can have one for each of you. Um, so we'll start. So yeah. So before we start the rapid fire, what is that one feature which you wish Eka Care would build uh, as a part of its developer ecosystem to enable other health tech companies to build on top of it? It could be a very crazy, outlandish ask also, like, maybe uh, let's say, open sourcing or giving access to our prescription pad so that, people can integrate the prescription pad inside their products and enable doctors to create prescriptions as well. So is there any particular, very outlandish ask or something that you'd want us to build for?
Mm, the computer vision models. I'm not sure why Eka Care has not implemented this kind of, like, it's very exposed now. So bone detection look kar hai, disease detection kar hai, like skin care, skin disease. They are doing also detection of tumors from the MRI reports. Like, I mean, you guys already know this. You could have definitely done this. And if you do it, then please open source it. People can go ahead, explore this. Because
Yeah.
being on medical data set, एक तो data मिलता नहीं है जल्दी. If you guys are connected with so many hospitals, you can train the data. You can just give an API. भाई ये API लो, just test करो X-ray है कि नहीं है. ये API लो, check करो diabetes setup है कि नहीं है. It would have make a doctor's life a lot more easier, and all the big tech stack there are those who are waiting for something like this to come out कि भाई कोई तो ऐसा एपीआई बना दे भाई जिसमें हम लोग बस इमेज अपलोड करें, चेक करें डिजीज, एंड दैट्स इट डन.
Right. I
Because
think,
we as
yeah,
data
go ahead.
scientists struggle so much with finding quality data sets, and
Data,
because
exactly.
of healthcare and having privacy restrictions, we are not able to get that kind of access. So I think since you guys work so closely with the healthcare industry, I think this could be an advantage. And I think somewhere also integrating it with the pharmacy side of it, like what suitable medications could be
Medications,
possible,
yeah.
because even that is proprietary in some of the cases. So I think
Mhm.
somewhere a collaboration between these two could be possible.
So
Could be like I could
Foundation,
wish for,
so
yeah.
largely we have, but we haven't, of course, made it available as part of the developer ecosystem yet. But what we have inside is a Genie for doctors where, basis the medication, basis the past prescriptions, a lot of the things get personalized for them in terms of the drugs they prescribe, in terms of the lab tests they recommend. But yeah, we haven't yet made that available to everyone. So that is something we could definitely discuss internally. In terms of, I think, disease detection, I think just the legal angle of it makes it a bit complicated for us to be able to, very, in the sense, it's more about 1 in a 1 million case, which might be an issue. But what we do as part of Doc Assist is that if you actually give us an image, right, and you ask what particular disease might be the case, that functionality is there for doctors where they can upload images, ask for second opinions. But it's more of an added aid for the doctor and suggestive for the doctor rather than, more of a clinical prescribed note from a doctor angle. So we want to assist doctors rather than, uh, be in that position where we
Not
would.
replacing them. Yeah, yeah. Being, yeah, yeah, correct.
So that's there. Cool. So we'll wrap up the last three questions then. I think three questions, one for Akash, one for Anushka, then third one for Lavanya. So first question for Akash. While giving the presentation at Ekathon, which judges' questions were you more or most scared of? Because there were teams before you as well and after you as well, and we had three judges. So which one seemed the most intimidating?
Dr. Aman Uprati. Yeah, because someone coming from a tech, like just speaking, those who are experienced more than your age. So definitely it's challenging.
Right. But did they ask any specific question,
He
daunting,
asked about the
with the
Snowmed
past
city. Like,
experience? Okay,
how did you implement the Snowmed city with your 1.5 million records?
got
And
it.
it is just doing in 0.0, like it's a fraction of second na. So of course
Yeah,
someone will get wonder कि भाई इतने जल्दी कैसे कर रहा है? Is it black boxing और हम लोग को बस he is fooling something like that?
but I think it went well in the end. I think most of the questions were answered well, and of
Yeah.
course you as well. Okay, second question for Anushka would be one thing that you'll always carry to your next hackathon other than your laptop.
Other than my laptop,
Yeah.
uh, I think a lot of Eka Care's products that we got, they as just as good luck, honestly. Like
Mhm.
there was such a great memory for us because it's our first hackathon, and I mean I was of course very nervous for it, but it was such a great management. Everything was done really well for us. So we did not, I think because of that, like there's a standard which has been set. Like I was telling that today, the three of us we met today, and I was telling that there's like a standard which is set, and I don't know what's going to cross this. Like it's done such like they've done such a good job at um managing the hackathon. So I think there's a lot of experiences and a lot of things from mentors. Like genuinely, we learned so much from the mentors at Eka Care. Like when during lunch breaks, we have spoken to them, and they've told us about things that just outside the hackathon as well. So a lot of those skills that we have learned from them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, last one for Lavanya. Then,
Yes.
so Lavanya, you'll be seeing this react button on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
So you have to choose one react emoji which summarizes your
Okay.
entire experience on Ekathon, and then maybe
Oh,
a couple of lines.
oh, definitely. It was first of all taking off very strongly with our career.
Yeah, but just one emoji. So I'm guessing.
Okay, sure.
Oh, yeah,
It was definitely the spaceship because I think this is where we kickstart our journey into healthcare.
got it. Nice. That I think wraps up. We are almost end of time also. Anything you guys want to add, which I haven't asked you guys, but feel
Yes,
feel free to.
we would love to come to Bangalore again to.
Yeah, we would love to. We were discussing that today.
These guys are so much
Yeah,
excited that they are thinking let's join Eka Care only
yeah,
Yeah.
our graduation.
Uh,
So I would request you guys to make some two spaces into Eka Care system so my students can join over there.
Done. Great.
thank you
Thank
so
you so much for your
much.
time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
We'll make the clips available both on our Discord channel as well as uh, our social media handles. So a lot of like some of our media organizations that we work with also ended up covering the article. So it's a basic media article that is out, CXO Today and a few other organizations. Since you guys are the winners, and yeah, you should definitely share it with your family in case the challenges you guys faced and in case
Definitely.
you get it right.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Cool. Thank you so much. All the entire 15 articles Jay will
Thank you
share.
so much.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
It
you
was
so
so
much for
lovely
having us.
talking to you again.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you, Jay, also for tolerating us.
Yes.
You're taking
Thank you so much.
No, no,
Jay,
no issues at all.
Jay has a shy background. He still hasn't turned on his camera despite asks.
No, I'm not able to get a meeting room here, so
That's okay. चलो ठीक है, see you
All
guys,
right,
bye
thank
bye.
you. See
See
you
you
guys very
Thank you
guys.
soon.
so
Bye
Bye.
much.
bye.
Have a
Thank
Bye
you
great
so
bye.
much.